channel. If you are new here, my name is Kirsten and I really like books. You're going to have to excuse me because my oldest is such a nice, sweet boy and decided to give me the plague. We are just kind of coming out of the worst of it, so I'm really hoping that I can get through this without having too many Kleenex breaks and coughing fits for you guys. But we only have 3 days left in February, which means it is time to pick our March TBR. If you've never tuned into my channel before, you might not know that I actually run a book club over on Patreon, and now it's evolved into a group of over 30 women where we basically celebrate the joy of reading together with fun TBR prompts and challenges. So it really doesn't matter if you are a romantasy girly, a sci-fi girly, romance, thriller, memoir. There is room for you in this book club because essentially every month I come up with a new prompt card for you based off of kind of the theme of the month or the season. And it's your job to try and pick books based on those prompts. I also put together fun quarterly challenges. We do fun DIY crafts together as a group. And then we also do a group choice book where we do usually vote on one book to read together, but it is an optional part of the book club. These are the books that we are currently voting on for the month of March. So if you are interested in joining in and possibly reading one of these books with us, I will put all of my Patreon information in the caption below. But let's get to the reason why you clicked on this video, which is to pick my TBR for the month of March. So when I pick my TBR, I always start with my book club's prompt card, which has 4 prompts. And then I usually pull from my TBR jar twice. And then because one of my reading goals for the year is to try and actually complete some of the series that I'm in the middle of, I always try and pick up a book that I am working on in a series. So let's go ahead and take a look at what my March prompt card is going to look like for me and my book club ladies. So here is the prompt card. It's all about our author backlists and our bookish goals. So the first prompt on our card is an author backlist book. So I have a few authors on my shelf who are like automatic purchase. Any book that they publish, I will purchase it no matter what. So I really did think that I was going to pick Ali Hazelwood for this prompt, but I think I'm actually going to go for a different author who I have her series on my shelf. And I am on the 4th book in that series, and she does have a new book coming out in the month of March, and the characters in this new release are connected to some of the characters in her other series. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that book off of my shelf. And that is Play Alone by Liz Tom 40. I absolutely loved Caught Up, and I'm so excited for her March release, which is In a League of Her Own, which is about Monty, who is Miller's father, and he pops up in the book before this one. So I feel like this is going to work really well as my first prompt choice for an author's backlist book. So for that prompt, we are choosing Play Alone by Liz Tom 40. The next prompt is a new release from your favorite author. So for that one, I am going to be picking In Her Own League by Liz Tom 40. I feel like that just works really well. So next on the card is a book off of your top 26 for 2026 list. So here is a look at my top 26 for 2026. I have crossed a few of those ones off. These are the ones that I've read so far. So I have a ton of books on here that I can choose from. Looking at this, I feel like I am actually going to pick Andy Weir's Hail Mary. I have recently become a sci-fi girly, and everyone says that Hail Mary is a little bit confusing of a read, but a really good book to listen to on audio. And I'm always looking for audiobooks to read throughout the month because I am a mom. And a lot of the time, my reading gets done through audiobooks because I am constantly on the move within my house. I can't always be stationary. So when I'm folding laundry or cooking dinner or just doing mundane tasks around the house, I love having an audiobook on. So I feel like Hail Mary will be a perfect pick for my choice for one of my books for my top 26 of 2026 list. The last prompt is continue a series you are in the middle of. These are the series that I'm currently in the middle of that I'm bound and determined to get finished this year. And I think for this one, I am going to go ahead and choose Low by Raven Kennedy. I finished Gleam earlier this month, and I fell in love with the characters in that book. The first two books were so. This series is very much character based. So there is lots going on in the plot, but it's definitely not the focus, or not so much in the first few books. There's lots of exciting things that happen, but also a lot of slow buildup. So I feel like what happened in Gleam was super exciting, and lots of things happened where I was like, I need to pick up the next book. So this one is definitely going to be read in the month of March. She is a thick book, but I have also gotten this one on audiobook through the app called Chirp. If you've never heard of Chirp before, it's a place where you can get audiobooks at really low prices. I get an email that shares prices for audiobooks that are either free or super cheap. I ended up getting the last 3 books in this series on audio for a crazy low price. So if you've never heard of that website before, go and check it out. So I will probably be doing an immersive read of this one, especially because of how big she is. Let's go ahead and pick out the 2 prompts from my TBR jar. Okay, so the first prompt is read a book that sparks joy, not hype. Okay, this is kind of a cool prompt because I feel like I am very much influenced by bookish space for what books I want to pick up and read, because I'm very easily influenced. So I feel like I'm going to go ahead and peruse my shelves and pick a few books that I rarely or have never seen on any of my feeds anywhere. The first one I picked is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I know I feel like it's a crime that I have not read this book yet, but I did just get the audio for this one on Libby. So I always love doing immersive reads if I can. And the Libby gods are telling me that it is now time that I should be picking up this book. It says on the back, Macy Sorensen is settling into an ambitious, if emotionally tepid routine. Work hard as a new pediatrics resident, plan her wedding to an older financially secure man, keep her head down and heart tucked away. But when she runs into Elliot, the first and only love of her life, the careful bubble she's constructed begins to dissolve. Once upon a time, Elliot was Macy's entire world, growing from her gangly bookish friend into the man who coaxed her heart open again, only to break it on the very night he declared his love for her. Told in alternating timelines between them, and now teenage Elliot and Macy grow from friends to much more, spending weekends and lazy summers together in a house outside San Francisco, devouring books, sharing favorite words, and talking through their growing pains and triumphs. As adults, they become strangers to one another until their chance reunion. Although their memories are obscured by the agony of what happened that night so many years ago, Elliot will come to understand the truth behind Macy's decade-long silence, and will have to overcome the past and himself to revive her faith in the possibility of an all-consuming love. My other option is Fundamentals of Being a Good Girl by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. This is literally the lightest book that I've ever held in my life as a hardcover. On the back, this one says, Welcome to Astor University, class is in session. Maddie is ready to be a bad girl. When the rookie lecturer lands at Astor University, she's looking to start fresh after a messy breakup, but her first night in town takes a twist when she bumps into Bram Lowe, a reserved but incredibly handsome single dad she, not accidentally, stole a parking spot from earlier that day. The unspoken chemistry as he locks eyes with her while she gets a birthday spanking at a local bar is hotter than a Bunsen burner at full flame. Bram is looking for a break from his hectic life as an ecology professor and dad to rambunctious twins and a busy teenager. So when his college friend's divorce celebration brings him face to face with the same delectable brat who stole his parking spot, he's ready for a night to remember. But the next morning, Bram's world turns upside down, and that's not just the hangover talking. His new nanny, none other than Maddie, who also happens to be starting as a poli-sci adjunct at the university where he teaches. So, very much a forbidden romance between teacher and student or teacher and colleague, an age gap romance. This one sounds very, very spicy. So, this is the second option. So, two very different kinds of love stories, but I feel like I am leaning more towards this one because, again, the Libby gods have told me it is time to pick up this book. Now, one more prompt from the TBR jar. A book written by an author you've never read before. Okay, that gives me lots of options on this shelf. So let me go pick from two and I'll come back to you. So for this one, I picked between two dark romance books. The first one is Wolf by Paisley Hope. I absolutely love the cover of this one. On the back, it says, "As president of the Hounds of Hell Motorcycle Club, my life has been infused with darkness and trauma since the day I was born. Chaos is my birthright. I crave it to feel stable, secure, whole. The only person I care about are the ones who don my cut. Women are just a tool. Never to covet, only to use, each face blending into the next. The formula I live by is simple. Death is always at my door. I'm a soldier of bedlam, until a little hummingbird flies into my crosshairs and I'm forced to feel something I haven't felt for as long as I can remember. Alive. Let the hunt begin." This one sounds very intriguing. I haven't read a motorcycle dark romance in a while, so I feel like this is a good option. The other one that has been on my shelf for a while, and everybody says that this is a must read for dark romance lovers, and that is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. On the back, this one says, "Cade Mitchell is obsessed with someone he despises. A snake in an angel's skin. Stacey Rhodes is everything he can't forget. The girl who shattered his heart and drove him deep into the darkness of the underworld. He watched her for years, killed anyone who came close to her, but now, granted a brief moment of freedom from the life he's trapped in, he's back home and driven to claim her again, breaking every rule he's ever made for himself. Not even his hatred can stop the pull between them, but he'll never forgive her. Will he?" I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel like it's time that I pick up this series. I know there are 3 books in it, and people say it is the most addictive dark romance series that they have ever read. And I feel like I need to stop putting this one off. I don't know if you've ever done that where you know it's probably a series that you are going to love, so you don't pick it up because you don't want to get into it and then for it to be over because you've read it. I know that might not make any sense, but I think it is finally time to pick up Insatiable. Now, that means the only other book that I need to pick is from a series that I am in the middle of. So, we've already picked up Gleam, which we're in the middle of the Plated Prisoners series. I actually went ahead and got my book bullet journal because I do have a page on here. I am trying to get through the Red Rising universe, the Edge of Darkness series, which I will be starting, the Windy City series, the Crown of Naxia series, and then the next one is the Wolf King series. The third book is coming out. I feel like it's coming out sometime in the spring. So I almost want to wait to pick that one up till closer to the third book release date. And then we have the Plated Prisoner series, which I am going to be picking up one of those books. Do I put myself through pain and torture and pick up the next book in the Red Rising universe? I feel like I have to because I said I was going to. We're going to be picking up Pierce Brown's Iron Gold. You know, when I finished Morning Star, it put me back together after tearing me apart. And people said, prepare yourself because that's not even the start of the pain that you're going to feel when you read the next 3 books. So I feel like I'm ready for it. Might as well rip the band-aid off and get back into this series. I took a month off. It's time to dive back in. So for my continuing a series book, we are going to pick Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. So here is a look at the physical books that I currently have that I will be reading in the month of March. I also have to wait to see what book my book club ends up voting on, so that one will be added to the TBR pile as well, which brings our grand total of books that I need to read in the month of March to 8 books in total, which I feel like is pretty good for me. I've been averaging at about 8 books a month, and I kind of only pick this many in my TBR so that I can leave a little bit of wiggle room for a mood read here or there on my Kindle. I'm excited to chat about these books with you guys when the month of March is over. If you are going to be reading any of these books, or if you have and there's something that you are dying to tell me or I need to prepare myself for, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that whatever book you are reading today brings you some kind of joy. Bye guys.